Welcome back to News in Focus. Now, negotiators from Israel and Hamas are still holding talks for a ceasefire to end the genocide that is happening in Gaza. Now, as Trump and Netanyahu meet, and of course, big discussions with regards to how the people of Gaza are going to be displaced. And the reason why I'm speaking on that is because we got a reservation yesterday where it mentioned the possibility with the GHF and the government of Israel that they're looking at putting the people of Gaza into concentration camps. Again, it's going to be as devastating as maybe how the genocide has been for the last 20 months. Joining me now, I'd like to welcome Monadel Herzallah, who is a Middle East analyst and a member of the US Palestinian Community Network. Monadel, absolute pleasure having you on again. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
No, absolute pleasure. Monadel, just yesterday, when we received that reservation, it came across as not just shocking, sometimes maybe it shouldn't be seen shocking given that it is Israel we're talking about, but sad, devastating, disgusting, one could maybe say, that they're looking at putting the people of Gaza into concentration camps. Are you surprised by what the statements of Israel Katz, the Israeli president, has been saying with regards to this?
Actually, we're not surprised. And if you will recall the demands or the points that was revealed by the Israeli occupation government in the beginning of the genocide against the people of Gaza, about the Palestinian people in Gaza, they have mentioned that from the beginning. All the goals that they were able to, they were like revealing that they want to put the Palestinians in concentration camps, or they want to do like ethnic cleansing, take them back, give them end Hamas, end the resistance in Gaza, and none of released all the hostages. None of these objectives were met. They have failed to do that. So they have nothing else to do except repeating what. So they were able to speak to their own people who are like demanding to end the war, demanding to end the genocide. They will continue to ask for their kids to come back, and the government of Israel has failed to do so. The Palestinians will do what the Palestinians want to do. We have a saying, any meeting, anything about us, without us, is bad for us, which means that if they are talking to each other, the Israeli and the US, they are claiming victory and they wanted to package it somehow about this. The Palestinians are not going to leave their homeland. The Palestinians are sacrificing every single day not to go to concentration camps. 42 people have been murdered by the Israeli occupation as of this morning. 42. Particularly in the south and in the middle part of Gaza.
Monadel, and I want to touch on that because as the discussions, as these negotiations are still occurring about the ceasefire, we just got a communique that the Al-Quds Brigade, which is part of the resistance movement, and even the Abu Ubaidah regiment of the Hamas resistance movement, they've taken the fight to the Israelis. So there is a sense of resistance. The resistance is stepping up to try and take the fight to the Israelis. And it's quite clear that they're under pressure in Tel Aviv. And even though Netanyahu is sitting in Washington at this moment, there is a sense of pressure towards them because the resistance is not dying anytime soon. And they will continue this fight for as long as this occupation is there.
That is absolutely correct. I heard Abu Ubaidah's declaration, and he also mentioned that we are very close into into getting another more more captives from the Israeli army who are occupying our land, which means the resistance continue. Imagine people who have been in siege for the last 17 years in Gaza, and they are been under genocide, vicious genocide in history, okay, and they are still able to resist, which means that we are very proud of our people. They're very heroic and exceptionally. The whole world is watching how the Palestinians are resisting, and with the mightiest military power in the face of the earth. They continue to do that, and they will continue to do that. We will continue to insist on our national right of return to Palestine, to our historical land of Palestine, to our right to self-determination. No one can decide for the Palestinians what the Palestinians should live like. The Palestinians are the only side that who can determine for their self-determination. And thirdly, the right to resist the aggression, the right to resist the occupation and the genocide.
Monadel, there were
Yes.
reports yesterday from within the insiders of these discussions that were happening that Netanyahu is totally against Palestinian sovereignty. So, of course, on the table was mentioned this two-state solution, and he flat out rejected it. Obviously, he's getting pressure. Some would say this is a decision made by his own. But when you look at, of course, who's in his coalition, you got Bezalel Smotrich and you got Itamar Ben-Gvir, who have publicly called out for the ethnic cleansing, not just in Gaza, but especially in the occupied West Bank, where it seems to be getting worse by the day. But again, no surprise there, because as early as December 2023, when the genocide had started, immediately Netanyahu had said, there's absolutely no way we can recognize Palestine as a state.
As you see, the Israeli position is shaky as their coalition, and there is a tremendous amount of not sign of unity among the Israeli government and the Israeli society. However, Netanyahu is preparing also in 6 months. He's going to go for election. So he's not only speaking to the media, but he's also speaking to his voters to maintain what has left of his coalition. I believe that we will witness much more deterioration of such a coalition that is being fragile. That's only an indication of that, because they are going to come back, even if we have reached a ceasefire. The Israeli government will claim that they have achieved what they want, and they have to declare something like that. Oh, we don't want no Palestinian state. We don't want to, although the whole world recognize the right for Palestinians for self-determination, including declaring a Palestinian state. So I think we will continue to hear these words, but on the ground, we are witnessing definitely something different. So they have to sell the agreement to their voters somehow by continue to reject Palestinian rights for self-determination.
Monadel, within the US, there have been calls to stop this Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, this controversial organization that on one hand, of course, it gives aid, but on the other, it is killing people at such a large number. I want you to get your take on this, because there are a lot of charities, a lot of NGOs that are saying, allow us in, especially those that are registered with the United Nations, to say, let us have this aid, because it's quite clear that the GHF is one hand washes the other. It's giving this aid, and then of course there's reports that there are this pearls that are being put into the flour, but on the other hand, mass killing that is happening. What is your take on this GHF, and how important is it for this operation to stop immediately?
Absolutely. I think this is not a humanitarian assistance. This is a humiliation of the human being. This is a killer machine. We witness every single day people being killed. Kids who are going to get some flowers for their family are being killed. Hungry men, women, and children are being killed. That's not a humanitarian. We call the whole world to stop this this vicious attack against the Palestinian people. And I think people came to realize that this is nothing but another tool for the occupation, another tool that is supported by the United States of America. There are Marines are doing that in this behind the what's so-called the humanitarians, in addition to some Israeli soldiers and other people who are like being hired, like private contractors being hired to kill Palestinians who are going. We ask the whole world to expose such an attack, such a cover for their criminals. And I think people have been to realize that this is the true operation that is going on in the ground.
Monadel, always a pleasure having you on. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran so much.
Thank you so much. I mean, just can I say one thing?
Sure, no problem. We got 1 minute, Monadel.
It's really, I'm sure that you have heard that Netanyahu has the audacity he's wanted by the International Criminal Court, and he is talking to Trump to tell him that we recommend you for peace, Nobel Peace Prize. Isn't that ironic?
I find that funny and sad and disgraceful at the same time.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. But this is the world we live in, Monadel, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure having you on. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me.
That's Monadel Herzallah, a Middle East analyst and member of the US Palestinian Community Network. Your daily dose of comedy right over there. A wanted war criminal saying, Donald Trump, get it. Unbelievable, isn't it? Well, that's all we have here on News in Focus. From myself, Hospital, and the rest of the team in Johannesburg. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.